Here we go again. Man, I'm so sick and tired of being in this hotel room looking at these same four walls. Been stuck in this hotel for 4 days. It's like I'm doing a bid. No disrespect to the people that's doing a bid, because it ain't like I ain't got a nice little cushy bed, a nice little pretty view, a good shower. But I'm going stir crazy, y'all. I'm ready to get to work. I've I'm not used to this. It's just sitting and sitting and sitting. I feel like I'm just going around and around and around. But it's okay. I gotta, do the time. Don't let the time do me. Still the same principle, same mentality. Should be leaving tomorrow. Hallelujah. 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 No, I'm just playing. But man, this dope right here. Please open up and set me free. Me wanna go home. I am so ready to go home. Like every time I walk down a corridor like this, I expect to see one of them kids from The Shining with Jack Nicholson. What's that American Horror Story? I've been in this damn hotel for like 4 days. It's like, what, man? Let me out, set me free. I'm about to go step on the patio in a minute, man. I'm in Tucumcari, New Mexico. I've been here before, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Hotel or not, I really don't ever want to come to this hotel no more. And it is the A1, A plus hotel. But I didn't had enough, man. I could have been broke down in Amarillo. In Amarillo, I got some history out there. I could have went to the mall, went to the movies, played some pool, something. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not complaining. It was meant for me to sit here for a minute. But it's time to go, y'all. It is time to go. You know, sometimes things in life just happen. Sometimes things just happen that you have no control over whatsoever. And that's okay. And at the time that it's happening to you, it may send you into a state of shock. So, you have to grin and bear it, I guess I should say. You just gotta grin and bear it. I'm talking about this because today is my son's birthday. Now, I'm not talking about the son that you see at the end of these clips usually. I'm talking about my first son. His name is Jalen Sincere. And Jalen was never expected. Like any baby is expected, right? But nah, seriously though, Jalen was never expected. My wife at the time had sickle cell anemia, and she was always told that she would never get pregnant. So when she got pregnant, It was like, what? But it was a blessing. I was in the military at the time. And I found out 2 weeks before I went to Iraq that she was pregnant. And God works in mysterious ways because I believe his purpose was to give me the motivation to go through that ordeal. I didn't know what was going to happen when I went out there. I didn't know if I was coming back. But it was one thing for certain that throughout everything, the knowing that I had a son on the way, I never allowed myself get to that point where I thought I wasn't coming back or I wasn't going to do everything within my power in work, everything that was in my power, God willing, to get back to see him. And when my wife had got pregnant, everybody was trying to tell her to have an abortion. She had been told that her entire life, have an abortion. It's not worth it. You know, you're a high risk pregnancy. It's going to be complications. But she really wanted that baby. And so I supported her. I always support either way. And unfortunately, he passed. He passed at 3 months. We buried him on Christmas Eve of that year, 2003. And I remember feeling the most alone that I had ever felt. Because during that time of grieving, you know, everybody focuses on the woman. And they should. They focus on her. They asked me if I was okay. Yeah, I'm okay because, you know, I'm a man. Men, we take it. If it don't kill you, it can only make you stronger. But I wasn't okay. I internalized all of my pain, and my body my mind rather, for like 6 months because of the trauma sent me into a state of shock. You know, your body does that. Your mind does that. Their defense mechanisms, survival mechanisms, the trauma, what I was going through, the mental stress was so much that I was shell shocked. I really, for a long period of time, didn't care if I lived or died. So again, that was 16 years ago. He would have been 16. Happy birthday, Jalen. I know you're watching down over me. I know you're watching down. And that's also another reason why I talked to my son, Cameron Ali, through these videos. Because after my first son, Jalen, had passed, it was like getting ran over by a freight train. One moment, you got this blessing, and you're thinking about everything that you're gonna do. Put him in Little League. No, learn to play an instrument. He could have been a doctor, a lawyer, football player, basketball player. It really wouldn't have mattered. And the next day is gone. Just gone. You know, how do you recover from that? They say time heals all wounds. And to a point, that's true. You never forget, though. But in any event, I'm not going to carry on and on about this because I probably end up crying, and I'm not going to do that on this video. I cry on the inside. I'm still a man. But I love you, baby boy. Both of you. You know, after my son Cameron, no, I'm sorry. I mean, after my son Jalen Sincere passed, it was rough. I mean, I think it took me about 6 years before I started really coming out of the shock of what had happened to me. And you're never quite the same after the death of a child. Like, little things would bother me. Father's Day, I hated Father's Day, because I would see all of these people walking around with sons and daughters that they probably only took care of or saw like one time out of the year, dressing up in like matching outfits and shit. And I never paid attention to when Father's Day came around. Even now, I really don't know when Father's Day is. You know, me and my father, that's a different story, because I don't be wishing him happy Father's Day or nothing. And, you know, he did the best that he could with what he had. He was a good provider. You know, there was other issues with that. That's a topic for another day. But I'm a truck driver. I'm on this road. I'm to myself. And I would never know when Father's Day came around. So I'll be having, a good day. And I'm coming inside the truck stop, and everybody, all happy Father's Day and all of this, and I say thank you, or I say I'm not a father, or I say I don't consider myself a father because my son had passed, and they would always reply, "You're still a father." But I hated that day. I was angry at God for a long time. I mean, I turned my back on God quite a few times, because I felt that I've always tried to live my life on a right path. Not righteous, but a right path. Never done anything to hurt anybody. I always tried to help people. So why would you allow this to happen to me, especially after going to Iraq and everything that I had been through over there? Why would you put my wife, my ex-wife, through that? Because she almost died having that baby. And, and I understand her pain. She looked at all of these women that just have babies just to collect the welfare check or whatever, that, too busy trying to go to the club. And so it was like, why? But you're strong. You have strength inside of you that you don't even know you got. People always, after they hear that, like, man, ooh, how you go through that? I don't think I could go through that. Yes, you could. I don't wish that on nobody. But there's one thing about this life. If it don't kill you, it can only make you stronger. That is so true. And like these videos here, I think these videos, because I'm 45 now, I have a 9-month-old son. I'm 45. God works in mysterious ways, right? But I'm 45. And I find myself thinking, like, fuck. I was ready to check out. My son now, Cameron Ali, he gives me a reason to be here, and I'm thankful for that. But I truly was only trying to outlive my mom, because I didn't want her to go through the pain that I had went through, because it is unnatural to bury your son. Your son or your daughter is supposed to bury you. But in any event, I do these videos, I think, partly because of the fact tomorrow is not promised to you. Live each day to the fullest. Forget about tomorrow. Only deal in the present. So these videos are my way of leaving, if I'm not here tomorrow, leaving a part of me behind that my son could always go back to. So he can see me, hear me, feel me. Not just, through the spirit and through his DNA and his blood. Because he is me, is an extension of me. I also have found myself at one point in time like a little white girl. Like the more impoverished chicks that just be wanting kids just to have somebody love them. When I say that, I'm just saying, like, the beauty of having kids. And now, I wish I had had a whole squad of them. But the beauty of having kids is that you never die. Through your children, you live forever. And when I had lost my son, Jalen, there was a time period where I was like, the end of who I am, of my bloodline, would have died with me. My brother, he has a girl. So it still would have carried on, but at the same time, we're taught that the bloodline is through the men. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've been indoctrinated with. And I just would have known that my father, my father's father, my father's father's father would have stopped with me. And that was unacceptable. That was something that, like, weighed me down. So, fast forward to now, Cameron Ali got a second chance, y'all. And I'm gonna do the best I can with what I have. And he's gonna be a monster. As always, I love you. And peace. I gotta make a correction. Because I had said, forget about tomorrow. No. You forget about the hurts in the past. You learn from the past and you move on. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Only think about it, just a little bit. Don't overemphasize it, because things happen, things change, and then you gotta adjust. Never get so fixed on tomorrow as it's a definite, because it is not a definite. If that was the case, my life would have went a whole different way. But my life is good, as I always claim. No matter what's going on, my life is good. I'm stuck in Tucumcari, New Mexico right now, presently as we speak. I got a toothache that is killing the fuck out of me. But my life is good. And your life is good also. Don't you ever forget that. That's enough for today. So you all take care of yourselves. And Cameron Ali, Ali Boombaye. Ali Boombaye. The champ is here. The champ is here. Don't you ever let him